yeah, let's get into this video. We're gonna do some reactions for sure. This is TroyceTV. Nicki Minaj, Barbz finally canceled her for being a puppet. Let's see what he has to say. Yeah, we just doing some reaction, guys. So let's get into it. I just took that medicine too, and it's nighttime, so I might be feeling a little sleepy, a little drowsy in about 20 minutes. So let's do what we can. Oh, this is 32 minutes. Let's see if we can even get through it.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destin Troyce and you're watching TroyceTV. For today's video, I wanted to get on here and I wanted to discuss Nicki Minaj and the fact that her fans are turning on her.
I only support Trump because I'm going broke and I need the money.
Now, let me just start off by saying, Troyce Raven-Symoné Baxter acts again. Barbz, they always try to paint her as the victim, and that's where my issue comes into play. When you enable somebody's behavior, you literally put yourself in a predicament where you feel like you always gotta enable that person's behavior. And the minute her fans get to a point where they switch up and they turn on her, they're gonna throw a whole bunch of shit in her face. I literally saw this coming years ago.
I saw this coming years ago too. Nicki Minaj is the problem. Like, seriously. Like, very pretty lady. You know, she cool. You know, I don't know her personally, of course, but she does have a lot of issues. When just like, I don't know, but you know, hey.
So where I said eventually her fans would turn on her, and we've been actively seeing this. People have been going in on her on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and many other platforms, and there's been a lot of smear campaigns on the media where a lot of people are very pissed off at her because many people feel like she's already chosen a side. So if you guys haven't heard, Nicki Minaj was recently invited to AmFest, which is an American conservative festival that was recently hosted in Phoenix, Arizona. She got tons of backlash because she was invited by Erica Kirk, who we all know as Charlie Kirk's widow. And if you know anything about Charlie Kirk, you know that he was very right-wing and very traditional when it came to his Christian beliefs, abortion, and women, and much more other things.
Is the great replacement theory. They want to replace white Anglo-Saxon Christian Protestants with Mexican Nicaraguans, with El Salvadorians.
You're comparing abortion to the Holocaust.
Absolutely I am. In fact, it's worse. It's worse. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
I never had a problem with Charlie Kirk, nor did I dislike Charlie Kirk, because it's his fucking opinion. Who cares? However, Nicki Minaj getting invited by Erica Kirk, that already stirs a lot of controversy and brings in a lot of attention. And that has people thinking, what is Nicki Minaj truly trying to accomplish? Because when she was there, she was asked to read some of her tweets criticizing liberal laws in California, because as y'all know, she is a California, Los Angeles resident. And she also was brought on to speak on, you know, the issue with a lot of Gavin Newsom's laws, who's been trying to like push for, you know, more trans rights and more trans visibility in schools and learning and much more things. And she's been very critical about so many things, and she credits it to being a mother, being a lot more, you know, headstrong with her religious beliefs.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words, create your...
Okay. One more.
Why not? Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha, not even a trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Not Gav, the Gav nots. Gav not in, Gav out. Send in the next guy, I'm bored.
Is she okay? What is she talking about? Like, she don't even talk like a Gav out. Like, Nicki, please. But like he said, I mean, these people, it's their opinions. Like who cares? Like, I shouldn't be looking up to people and idolizing celebrities, idolizing nobody. Like, just look up to God. God should be your idol. God should be someone that you look up to. Like, she's a regular person with some money.
So I'm just going to let you riff. Like, I want you to say whatever you want to say,
Well,
Mr. Newsom.
dear Newscom, we don't have a problem cleaning up the scum if we have to. Please tread lightly. That's what I would say to Gavi Poo.
Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. More specifically, a lot of people in Los Angeles don't like him because he doesn't clean up a lot of, central cities. He doesn't take care of a lot of cities. He is very liberal and he very much panders towards, very radical liberal people, which is fine. But, when shit isn't getting done and things such as, trans rights being talked about in school books is like the main talking point in his campaigns, it becomes ridiculous.
We didn't get into trans sports. That's an issue no one wants to hear about because 80% of the people listening disagree with my position on this. But it comes from my heart, not just my head. It wasn't a political evolution. It was
position being that
I don't think it's I want to see trans kids. I have a trans godson. There's no governor that's signed more pro-trans legislation than I have, and no one has been a stronger advocate for the LGBTQ community.
Now, California is one of the most progressive and liberal states, and let me just say, the reason this conversation keeps coming up and the reason why Nicki's so passionate about it is because the transgender athlete by the name of A.B. Hernandez recently went viral for being born a man and is now a trans woman, and she's basically in women's track and field.
A.B. Hernandez has been competing in track and field and volleyball here at Yoruba Valley High School in Riverside since her freshman year.
It's definitely crazy. I mean, I get a lot of hate comments, but I'm I don't care. 16-year-old girl with a mad attitude, you think I'm gonna care?
When A.B. Hernandez was outed as a transgender, she had no idea what to expect next.
I mean, I kind of just tried to fly under the radar because trans athletes get a lot of hate.
But soon protesters were showing up to her track and field meets where she's been competing in triple jump, high jump, and long jump for 3 years.
They picked the right kid for us, the wrong kid for them, because like they said, we will not back down.
Protests followed her through the season, including the state championships last weekend.
It's just weird at this point. I mean, they followed me for a whole season.
So this is the stuff that goes on over here in California. For those of y'all that don't live over here, this is the kind of stuff that makes a lot of people not like Gavin Newsom. Hence Nicki Minaj's animosity towards him since she does live in LA.
And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
Nicki Minaj, you have officially crossed the line. I am a longtime Barbz, so before any of the Barbz try to come at me and say that I'm a hater of Nicki, I don't like Nicki, I'm literally wearing the merch I got from going from her tour twice. Also a signed CD up there. Now, the only reason why I'm addressing this is because I had a few comments, and also I'm very much so a proud Barbz. As of the past year, it has been so hard to continue my support to Nicki Minaj because of the way she's supporting the current administration right now. I have saw past, her husband, and I have never condoned that, and I never really liked him. I never supported that at all, and I was just like, you know what, it is what it is. I love Nicki Minaj, so that's something I'm willing to look past.
Understanding why y'all are confused about this whole Nicki Minaj and Erica Kirk when literally the answer is so clear. This is why she was with Erica Kirk. This is why she's all of a sudden so pro-Trump. This is why she's now MAGA. And this is why she's so pro-Trump. What we are seeing right now is her trying to be so different from what her ops are.
I don't know how much Nicki Minaj is getting paid. I don't know how much Nicki Minaj is willing to go to get her citizenship. I don't know how much Nicki Minaj is willing to do to help her husband. But Nicki Minaj sitting on a stage with Erica Kirk is exactly what I tried to tell y'all in November, and all the Barbz want to get on me. But listen to her.
This administration is full of people with heart and soul.
So if I support her, that means by proxy I support this administration, and I can't have that happen. I don't know if my girlfriend is going through some type of psychosis, or I wish her all the best and I hope that she gets better soon.
But I do not align. When it comes to the trans and the gay community being hurt and upset, I don't know why y'all are shocked. Nicki Minaj has never been an advocate for specifically trans or gay people. She's never gotten a podium to speak up for trans or gay people. I'm just a little confused because Nicki is the same person who literally checked her co-host for misgendering T.S. Madison. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think she's a full-on homophobe, but what she spread today was very harmful. When have we ever seen Nicki Minaj get on a stand or be at an LGBTQ parade or ever speak up for LGBTQ rights?
I mean, she doesn't have to. I mean, I don't think that she's not LGBTQ or that has nothing to do with her. You know, a lot of her fans, the same majority of her fans are, I don't really see a lot of female, some, but you don't really see, like, most of Nicki Minaj fans are, what I see are homosexual men. That's what I've seen over the years. That's her, her main problem. So, I don't know, but that's, I don't think she has to go, like, to rallies and parades or whatever. But I don't know.
When
I have to talk about this, and when I talk about this, I'm going to be so unapologetic about how I feel. The allegations that your husband has further lets me know that you are 100% okay with people doing things to children without consent. Obviously, children can't consent anyway, but you are 100% okay with adults abusing children, period. Not to mention, he's spoken out against gay people, and a large percentage of Barbz are gay men.
When people say eat the rich, eat celebs, fuck them, don't support them anymore, people mean it now in 2025 more than ever, because now we see that we're all at a point in life where many of us are living check to check, struggling, problems are compiling, and we all have less of a fuck to give about our favorite celebrities struggling. So a lot of people are talking with their dollars. A lot of people are talking with their tour tickets and much more, because people aren't having it. If people don't fuck with you or don't respect you, no one's going to support you at all. And we've been seeing this very effortlessly with a lot of entertainers lately who have empty studios, empty stadiums. Some of our favorite artists who used to flex on us and tell us how they're on top of the world, only selling like a couple thousand albums on their first week.
Like, I don't want y'all to give a fuck about no numbers with me no more. I just don't want y'all to give a fuck about no numbers, bro. Swear. Like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck if we sell 1,000 first week. I don't care. I don't.
We've been seeing it persistently. So Nicki Minaj coming forth and acting like this, it's not a surprise that people are having a very negative reaction, but she's not necessarily going to be canceled. She even recently stated on Twitter, can't cancel Nicki because Nicki doesn't care enough to actually be canceled. Who the fuck is Nicki Minaj? She famously stated that this week, and it's very abundantly clear that she just doesn't care anymore. And it obviously stems from a lot of other things. However, Nicki Minaj has a strong problem with him because, again, he plays a big role on higher taxes in California, and he also plays a big role on a lot of the strong-ass shutdowns and mandates during the Pandemic Express. During the Pandemic Express, California has some of the strictest rules next to New York City about restaurants, the fact that we had to put on these dumbass masks and you couldn't take them off until you sat at your table, which was the dumbest shit ever in my personal opinion. And he plays a big role in that. And Nicki Minaj never forgot that. And I'll never forget when Nicki Minaj tweeted this. She tweeted a photo of Kamala literally slamming the door behind her and a bunch of people recording her. And it obviously is an AI-generated photo, but Nicki Minaj captioned it, "We did it, Joe. Basically, you know, a play on words for Kamala's catchphrase. And it's so interesting that she tweeted that because, again, if you look closer at the image, it's very clear that this was definitely symbolism for they're going to keep the entire country shut down and not working for another full couple of months to a year. Nicki Minaj never forgot that because she even criticized back in 2021 the mandates with the vaccines. You know, she essentially said that she wasn't sure about getting the COVID vaccination because she felt a way about the fact that one of her cousins ended up getting it. One of her cousins ended up getting it for her husband, and his testicles ended up swelling, and a bunch more. And she got a ton of backlash from the right and the liberal side.
Okay, I have 2 million followers. You have 22 million followers on Twitter. For you to use your platform to encourage our community to not protect themselves and save their lives, my God, sister, you could do better than that. You got that platform. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that you got that people listen to you. And they listen to you more than they listen to me. For you to use your platform to put people in the position of dying from a disease they don't have to die from. Oh my God, as a fan, as a hip hop fan, as somebody who is your fan, I'm so sad that you did that. So sad that you did that, sister. Oh my God.
And she was even used as a political punching bag at the Academy Award.
We had to get vaxxed to come here, you know what I mean? I got vaxxed. I did not have a reaction like Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend, okay? Now, I got Pfizer. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm bougie, all right? Pfizer, that's the Neiman Marcus of vaccines, you know what I mean?
Then during the Panda Express, she was invited to the White House, and she was invited to personally meet the president, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris to be exact, to discuss health issues and any concerns she may have about the jab.
An invitation to come to the White House to speak with two people, the two names, what is that man's name? Dr. Fauci, and with the surgeon Nicki Minaj, the same phone call we offer everybody else. What? You think they would offer that to Mookie in the projects? No, everybody else. And I see why a lot of celebrities keep themselves bubbled up. You understand? We're living in a place without free health care. So anybody in this country has the right to question anything about their health. Because if your health mattered that fucking much, there would be free fucking health care, bozos. That you can't speak. You can't speak.
What is she talking
for the
about?
fear of the mob attacking you. If that doesn't give you chills up and down your fucking spine, this is scary. Don't y'all see that we are living now in that time where people will turn?
What is she talking about? I don't see, like, why does she have to, like, that? Why she can't just talk regular? Like, she's so dramatic.
Turn their back on you. I'm not agreeing. But people will isolate you if you simply speak and ask a question. Y'all don't see what the fuck is happening?
So Nicki Minaj never forgot that. She might have let it go, but she never forgot the fact that she was criticized heavily just for going against the vaccination. But the thing about Nicki Minaj is she's self-made and she has a very major fan base. She's not going to just disappear because she disagrees or goes against the grain. But I will say this all started where a lot of her fans started to flip on her because of her stance about Nigeria.
Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity.
Now, I'm going to be real. I really kind of get annoyed when people talk about the issue involving Nigeria and the fact that Christians are being slaughtered and being off because it's a little bit inaccurate and stems from a lot of misinformation. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, there has been a lot of corruption and divide amongst Christians and Muslims in Nigeria since the beginning of time. Nigeria is one of the biggest countries in the world, and it's literally the biggest country in Africa, and it's essentially divided by two. It's divided by the north, which the north is mostly Muslim, and they mostly follow Islam, and then it's divided by the south. The south is mostly Christian. Since the south is mostly Christian, they often have different belief systems, different traditional beliefs in terms of like food, the way they dress, the way they eat, and the way they move. And essentially, Nigeria has damn near 100 tribes. And due to that, there's always been division about who's more superior, who's better, who's more powerful, who has the better this, and so much more. It's always been that way. So due to that, Nigeria has always dealt with things such as corruption, where leaders who lean more this way have always felt like they deserve more control here. So the whole entire country has always been divided. However, the country has kind of been the shits for the past 40 years because there has been a extremist group called ISWAP and then another extremist group called Boko Haram that has essentially taken over most of the Northeast. So essentially, Boko Haram and ISWAP are extremist groups that are derivative of ISIS. And essentially, due to them being a derivative of ISIS, y'all know what that means. They have extremist beliefs that involve with being anti-elites, and essentially they believe in taking control with violence. So due to that, they've done a lot of horrific things since I remember hearing horrible shit about the things they've been doing since 2014. Some of them have done awful things such as blocking freeways, blocking highways. Some of them have hijacked ships. Some of them have hijacked, worker trucks. Some of them have hijacked technology. Some of them have looted places. Some of them have even taken over schools where they've really ran to schools and they've kidnapped and abducted multiple girls. Like, you name it, they've more than likely done it. And they've all done this all for the sole purpose of power.
But although a number of them have been released in the last 5 years, more than 100 of the students are still missing. The Chibok incident showed Boko Haram kidnappings could bring them publicity. 4 years after Chibok, they abducted 110 schoolgirls from the town of Dapchi. Most were released a month later. But one of them, a Christian student called Leah Sharibu, remains in captivity. Her peers say she refused to give up her faith. Since 2013, more than 1,000 children have been abducted by the terror group. The Nigerian military have been criticized for their failure to free those kidnapped by Boko Haram. Low morale and corruption have left the army floundering, but Boko Haram's shifting strategy, including the use of female suicide bombers, has made them hard to pin down.
Now, there's a few of these groups in Nigeria that are extremist groups that have, I'm talking about, hijack farms and say, you know what, we don't care that this is your farm of 100 years. We're taking this. We're taking the cattle, we're taking the chickens, we're taking everything, the dogs, whatever. This is ours now, and we're going to sell it overseas for even more expensive. You know, we don't care that this is your house. We're taking it. Like, I'm talking about, they've burnt down villages. They've burnt down homes. They've burnt down tribe villages that have existed for thousands of years. They've even gone as far as doing all types of evil shit where they've literally strapped, explosives onto young girls that are as young as 10 or 12 years old. And they'll say, hey, we don't F with this church. We don't F with these Christians. We want you to walk up in there and we want you to show them what's up. So we want you to detonate the bomb that we attach to you, or they'll remotely detonate the bomb. And they've done that for a lot of young girls because young girls are the least likely to be seen as a threat. They've literally tried to invoke fear into people by, telling them, if you don't side with us, you're against us. And if you're against us, we're going to burn down everything. We're going to kidnap whoever we want. They've literally put up, tolls where they're like, you can't cross. You can't bring, your goods. You can't bring your eggs, your milks, and your chickens and, your food to this other side to sell and make money to support your entire family unless you pay taxes. So give us X amount of money or you're not coming through. And if you don't give us X amount of money, then you're going to have to turn all the way back. They've also gone as far as doing all types of shit like how ISIS has done, where they'll...
I know he's just trying to give us a backstory, but bro, this is about Nicki Minaj. I'm sorry. He just, you know what I'm saying? He's still going and going and going and going and going and going.
They'll literally tell people, sit down, we're going to record you and make it very clear that you want to be released, just so they can get more money from ransom. So they've literally done all types of crazy shit.
I want to beg on mine, ask to be released, but because Nigeria
take control of what we want and distribute the money. Villages, destroy villages. They've harassed store owners, restaurant owners, farmers, and they've intimidated people for their cattle, their herds. They've intimidated people for their resources, and they've taken them, and they've not only taken them for their own benefit, but they've taken them to literally sell in the black market or to sell to other countries, neighboring countries, for a much more expensive price. So they've done that just for the sole purpose of they're tired of the elites and they're tired of the of the politicians taking all the wealth. And I'm talking about like these people who work for EastWatch. A lot of times these young boys don't have a choice, so they can't pay cash right then and there. We're not sure you intimidate them and tell them to pay you a certain. So much deeper than just what Nicki Minaj is talking about. And I wish if Nicki Minaj was going to talk about this, she would talk about it all. And I think Nicki Minaj isn't fully informed to even have an opinion about this kind of shit. Right, and it's a shame that, again, these politicians are just using her as like they're basically using her as a headline to promote whatever the fuck they got going on. But that's all I have to say on that. I hope you guys enjoyed my entire breakdown. I hope you guys can see where I'm coming from. If not, please be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's that. Troyce out this bitch.
Like in the yeah, like, I don't know what's going on with Miss Minaj, but she feels how she feels, and she said y'all can't cancel her, so whatever.